Accountable communications. Today we'll be discussing about what accountability means and how responsible a communicator should be all about in this presentation. So the agenda is definitely all about accountability. Definitely we'll discuss the process of accountability and try to figure out something called accountability tree that I believe so. The tree what comprises of the trunk, the branches, the roots, and so on and so forth. So let us come proceed. What is accountability? Remember a small exercise. What does accountability means to you? Somebody would be telling it about responsibility. Somebody would be telling it about reaching objective, achieving objective. Somebody might say it is all about being transparent. Somebody it means be responsible, answerable to your own self, your own conscious, as the case might be. So different people have different perspective, and I am trying to give it to you because this question I have been asking it a number of times with number of participants, and they have actually answered accountability as transparency, responsibility, duties, achievement of objectives, be answerable, and so on and so forth. So that is what is accountability means to you. To every individual person, what I wanted to stress upon here, accountability have different connotation. But at the end of the day, it means to be thorough with your own work, and you should be able to defend why have you acted on certain principles. So let us understand about a statement, accountability statement. What does it exactly look like? How do we predict what is accountability? To be accountable or how others are accountable? What is it more important, to be yourself accountable or how others are accountable altogether? In fact, I would prefer if there is a continuum of accountability cultures within an organization, and it when I say continuum, it should be both vertical and horizontal, and everybody should know their jurisdictions and job work thoroughly, and that is what accountability is all about it. Let us discuss the second question as far as process of accountability is concerned. Remember, accountability is all about building relationship, all about setting well defined objectives, taking ownership. Did I say that you should be able to defend your decision based upon what assumption principles you have taken it? Yet, in short, it is all about being taking responsibilities or taking ownership of every action that you take continuously take. Therein comes around the feedback, as in why a particular action has been adopted, why certain things have been taken forward with. So that is what is a continuous feedback that comes around it. It provides tool for successes. Definitely, yes, the provides tool for success and embrace our differences thereby. So accountability is all about creating relationship, setting clear expectation, taking ownership, giving continuous non-stop feedback, providing tool for success, and embracing our differences thereby. So let us begin with creating relationship. Remember, relationship is not only a transactional process wherein you give some and take some. It is the process where you feel for the other person. It is the process where you actually acknowledge the situation and what the party, other person is fighting for. And if you can be a probably a sympathetic friend to them, a sympathetic um, whatever relationship, a boss to them, a subordinate to them, a subordinate to them, wherever you appears to them. What essentially is, I am talking about being in their shoes, the power of empathy. And if you can empathize with people, I'm sure you are going to forge a very strong bond with all your relationships. So let us understand the sixth paradigm, which is all about, we will talk about it, six or eight, it seems, is staying out of judgment. Never be judgmental around it. That is what we have been trying to tell it to you. That is what we will be talking about time and enough about. Never be judgmental. You never know what exactly is the circumstances of the person. Let us have a faith. Let us believe in communicating with our problems, their problems, and with an utmost sincerity. Yes, we should be honest in our relationship. We should be vulnerable thereby too also. That is what we have said around here. Next would be the respect part. If we have those respect for each other, mutual respect that comes around it, the last step of the sixth step of the last step of forging a stronger bond or creating a wonderful relationship is all about connection. Connection is what is going to make around it. So let me spell it out. The six steps, the power of empathy, of bonding, of building a wonderful relationship is never to be judgmental, is always to be communicative, should be honest with your reaction, should never be flabbergasting it, should not be demeaning it. Be honest with it. Ensure that you yourself, the other person themselves might be in a vulnerable position. Similarly, mutually respect them. Respect is a two-way coin and forge a connection every now and then. So let us understand with clearing what expectation needs to be understood, what objective has to be set, how do we assess the goals. So be clear what is the outcome that we are looking into it, what are the deliverables that we are looking into it, set deadline, maintain an open communication process. This is what I have been trying to tell it to you, to all, every one of the audiences. Everything, the heart doesn't go fonder if you move from one place and move a few thousand miles away from altogether, but it goes fonder if you stop communicating. And this communication stoppage might be between two-person who are not even 100 meters away from each other. That is what makes it the heart breaks or the relationship gets broken all about it. Until and unless you are communicating, your relationship is not strong enough. Recap the conversation, recapitulate everything, be transparent with the consequences, repeat, reward, and release. What I keep on saying it, every time you want to set up an objective, repeat them. Reward once you have achieved the objective, and again release, or should I say come up with another set of objective that comes around it. That's the way to go. Set about a clear expectation of what is expected, forging a bond, and probably taking a step at a time. So taking step at a time is all about being accountable. That is what the ownership is all about it. So how many of us are blamers? In fact, if you find it out, nobody finds faults in themselves but with the other people. Now, this is what I wanted to stress you on. The first thing you want to know, whose fault is it? Now, if you look at the picture, uh, is the person who is in the picture his fault? Probably many of you might not think so, might, or some of you might actually think so. Probably there are broken utensils. She might have fell around here. She might have actually broken it in a fit of her age. The way you want to go across it, is it a neutral situation wherein she fell? Did she create a nuisance because she was angry with it, or was she subject to abuse by somebody else? So first and foremost thing, take ownership. And if you once you take ownership, I'll tell you a wonderful thing. It automatically resolves, automatically becomes much more accountable, and people are there to help you out. So accountability is a vulnerable position to be taken, to be in the first place, and that is what accountability means to every one of us. The accountability ladder, when we talk about it, see what we have is a victim behavior, wherein in the previous pic that I showed it to you, things that happens to you, wait and hope, I can't, personal excuse, blame others. This is how, when I say how many of you blame the other person, this is the victim behavior. If you say you cannot do it, if you say let me see, let me check, you give, oh I'm too busy, or probably this is supposed to be done by others. So unaware or unconsciously you have portraying a victim behavior. But what are the positive behavior that could have been done? The accountable behavior that can happen because of you is when you acknowledge that there's an issue, acknowledge the reality, embrace the reality, find solution and make it happen, is what we all aspire to do. So that is what the accountability ladder is all about it. Look at the accountability ladder from unawareness to a complete awareness, complete consciousness. So let us believe in giving feedbacks time and again. That is what we will be looking into it. Let me set together how the continuous feedback has to be taken for place. One by one. In all, there would be first is to have a meeting map, has to understand the agenda for the day, has to set up in a neutral venue. It should be told in advance what is expected and how can you would be prepare in advance what is done, what is expected, and how will you go ahead with it. Be intentional. I am looking forward to be intentional. Yes, continuously feedback is all about being proactive and supportive in nature. So prepare in advance, be intentional, be clear as what you want to say, be utmost with an utmost kindness, with the honesty in your voice. Even the uncourteous words or intent can be polished off. So practice appreciation. Yes, one of the major things should be practicing appreciation. You look at the bigger picture. Never look for a short-term gains. Always look for a long-term objectives or achievement of them. Show support. Yes, you there might be things that might not go your way. Doesn't mean that you're going to dump the person altogether. Show support and be brave. I would love if you want to say it, be brave. That is what we are looking forward to. Provide tools for successes. Now, this is what we need to understand as to what can be done. Leadership attributes include self-awareness, discipline, commitment, providing a sense of direction, be solution focused, ability to change, foster collaboration, and resolving conflict. That is exactly what we are looking forward to. We are looking at an attributes of being yourself, being present, being there, being known, being committed, being transparent, and that is what we aspire to be for the tools of success, as the case might be. So let us come to the next best thing is factor of accountability is understand the differences and accept it. Accept the differences. Not two-person are going to be similar. If we can accept the differences, that means we are showing respect to each other's respect and to their opinions, to their values, to their integrities, to their thought process. Remember, diversity in people will only foster diversities of ideas. Diversities of ideas is only bring in different kind of outcomes or option, and that is all about being inclusion. So integrity, transparency, and trust will actually embolden us and probably make us much more accountable person, much more inclusive person, much more transparent, and probably we can all pool in our thoughts and come from and bring out an out of box solutions altogether. So that is what is the unity shows. That is what the beauty of a team is all about. It is the differences, it is our individual differences which makes the team stronger. So there has to be a mutual respect, there has to be a university value, a universal values of diversity and inclusion put forward with an transparency, integrity, and therein we can have a win-win team every time. There will be a win-win situation. Every circumstances can be overcome through when we have embracing the differences within our team members. This should be an accountability statement. This should be the fact that will foster you to the greater echelon of success. That is about creating relationships. Absolutely have set clear expectation, take ownership, give continuous feedback, provide tools for successes, embrace our differences as the case might be. So we are talking about creating relationships, set clear expectation, take ownership, give continuous feedback, provide tools for success, and embrace our differences thereby. This is what we are aspiring to be. Remember, did I speak at the very beginning of the presentation that I will like to tell you, discuss you with the tree and the branches, the trunk and the roots. What is all about the accountability tree that we are looking out here? Being the last slide of the presentation, please get a focus as to what is accountability which shows around it. Let me focus on the roots. Roots is the core of what you are, who you are, what is your accountability theories, what is your set principles, what are the standards that you have set for yourself, what is in short important to you. That is the fact of the root will entangle. It will determine how strong and a vibrant tree that it grows out of you. It is the branches, is your willingness to maintain the growth, to maintain the mindset, to go with the flow and work with the surroundings as on when on basis. Branches at times actually take surroundings into consideration and grow in a different directions altogether. And that is what an accountability tree is all about it. We should be like a tree. We should have our roots firmly entrenched, and similarly, we should be like a branch. We should take everything into consideration before we move around it, and ensuring that there is a mutual growth for each and every team members that comes around. Thank you for watching this video.